Second half league winners. We've got 3 players for you that are going to help you win your fantasy football leagues in 2021. Before we get to it though, the 3 of us very terrified to talk about these players because we do play fantasy football with each other. So that puts it out of the realm of possibility to acquire them. So if you don't have these players, go trade for them. If you do have them, stamp of approval from OwnersBox. Great job. You're doing great.
I've been trying to trade for my guy from Drew for this whole afternoon. So I wasn't able to get him yet, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, so it's basically
it's
over,
over,
once we get into it. Okay, Jared, get started. Let us know who you think is a second half league winner.
My second half league winner is Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants. He's been incredible with the opportunities he's been given so far. I am incredibly surprised at how good he has been with the ball in his hands. He makes plays watch his highlights. It's actually insane some of the plays he's made. And I think the numbers back it up too. He is top 5 in both yards per route run and targets per route run so far this season. So some of the guys ahead of him in both those categories are guys like Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, Cordell Patterson. Obviously some of those in one of the categories, some of the other. But if those guys are ahead of him, it's a good sign that he is among the league's elite wide receivers. And those are predictive stats too. Targets per route run and yards per route run are very predictive stats. So I trust his ability to continue to make plays down the stretch. And Daniel Jones loves throwing him the football. So he's going to be the wide receiver 1 moving forward. As long as he stays healthy, I just feel like he's got that league winning upside. And he's still a guy who's pretty cheap. I think you could trade away a Damian Harris to get him. I know I couldn't make that trade, but some people probably could. If you're a bit better at making trades than I am, maybe. So he's got a very easy remaining strength of schedule as well. If you look at on Fantasy Pros, he's got the easiest remaining strength of schedule among wide receivers. So league winning upside to me, and I love acquiring him right now.
Yeah, when we watched him play, yards after the catch monster, he's a tackle breaker, which was crazy to see when he's played. So I think there's definitely a good chance with strength of schedule is great to see. My only worry is just if the wide receivers are healthy, how does he fit?
The issue was he forgot how to play football in training camp, so that was nice to see. Let me get into mine, because I know, T-Mac, you're going to have a lot to say about yours. My league winner, Jaylen Waddle, Miami Dolphins, currently the wide receiver 26 in PPR formats. But you look into some of these numbers that T-Mac gave me here. 8th in the NFL in targets, 3rd in the NFL in routes run. Means he's out there often. Better opportunity to get the ball when you're running a lot of routes. The Dolphins throw the ball at the 2nd highest rate in the NFL. His 2 lowest point totals on the season are when Tua didn't play. Obviously, they went to Bama together. The rapport is there. They have a lot of chemistry. It's good to see out there on the field. But the rest of season matchups, you got Texans, Ravens, Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets, Saints. Only the Panthers are in the top 15 in the league in passing yards allowed. So pretty easy strength of schedule remaining for Jaylen Waddle. Devontae Parker's in there a little bit. Will Fuller's out of it. They don't really have much opposing Jaylen Waddle in this offense. I think he's going to get the ball a ton. He's just going to start scoring a couple more touchdowns, I think, in the second half of this season, and he becomes a league winner for you.
We haven't seen a big play from him yet either. Those have to be coming with how fast he is. Yeah. It's got to be coming.
I watched the Bills game, and Tua just didn't really push the ball down the field. He had a ton of targets in this game, but the average depth of target couldn't have been a lot. I haven't looked that up, but I didn't see Tua pushing the ball down the field very often.
Yeah, I like Waddle a lot. So I think he's someone you need to look to for sure. And I don't think it costs a whole hell of a lot to get him either.
Yeah, all 3 of you are guys I think aren't going to be that expensive to acquire.
Yeah. I'm up. And listen, look, if you're just barely listening, I'll talk a little bit louder. You need to hear this. I've talked about Elijah Mitchell so much the last few weeks. You need to understand how important it is that you go make a trade for him. I know he's been great the past couple of weeks. I do not care. You can buy high on this guy because the rest of the schedule for him is fantastic. He is on the last 7 games of the season going against the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Falcons, the Titans, and the Texans. 5 of these teams are in the bottom 7 against the run. Damn. And the majority of these teams give up anywhere between 18 and 24 fantasy points allowed to the position. They're down near the bottom. This is a fantastic finish to the schedule. And the other thing here to consider is that the 49ers have been running the ball at, what is it here? I have them as the 6th highest rate in the NFL. And they're 3-4. They're not even winning football games, and they're still running the ball at the 6th highest rate. In these games, they have every opportunity to win all of these last 7 games. If they go 5-2, 6-1 in these 7 games, we're talking about a team that will probably run the ball the most in the NFL during that stretch. Elijah Mitchell, also a complete workhorse in this offense. Without Trey Lance as the quarterback, he's going to have a 75-80% share of the team's rushing attempts. He is a true workhorse in the offense, and with Kyle Shanahan, he's had 5 RB1s in his 12 seasons as a play caller, and in those seasons, those 5 running backs that he's had have been true workhorses. They haven't been splitting time, and that's exactly what Elijah Mitchell's doing. To me, there's also plenty of things to look at from the underlying numbers of him actually running the ball and what he does when he has it. He's been incredibly efficient. He leads the NFL in yards after contact per attempt, 4.32 yards after contact per attempt. He's also leading the NFL in 10+ yards rushing per attempt. So he's breaking runs. He's taking off on long runs. There are a few guys that are ahead of him, but he only has 80 attempts this season. He has 80 rushing attempts this season. The guys that are ahead of him are like Derrick Henry, who had like 200 rushing attempts so far this year. So I honestly think Elijah Mitchell is a slam dunk to finish the year, continuing with the stretch he's had over the last couple of weeks with 100+ rushing yard games. I know he's not involved in the pass game, but I don't think that'll matter for a team that just loves to run the football.
Yeah, I think the main reason I love him too is because of the easy schedule. Because as you said at the end there, he's not involved in the passing game at all.
Yeah.
So if they had a tough schedule, I might be a little bit off him because they might lean away from him towards the end of games.
Yes.
But with these easy games, they could just lean on him all game.
Yeah, that's the biggest. Like, it's just there's so much here that I love about Elijah Mitchell. So
It's the strength of schedule. You're preaching it in the preseason. Just
for the wrong guy.
Right process, wrong guy.
Yeah, I might have to ask Eddie to throw the clip in here because I was watching my previous video before the season of my running back you needed to draft being Trey Sermon, and there was so much good stuff in there. Just big swing and a miss
Pick the
on
wrong
the correct play. So,
If you dropped in week 1 for Elijah Mitchell, big brained.
remember when Tyler said use at least half that fab on Elijah Mitchell? That was sharp.
remember.
That was really sharp. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys are looking to pick these guys up, you like the advice we gave you, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below who you think can be a second half league winner. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.